Welcome to our beloved parishioners. I'm Bailee.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is Praise Be to Pod. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bailee, what's on your heart today?
Okay, so I have a cultural grievance.
Ooh.
Yeah, for real. I recently saw some photos from a wedding where the bride and groom were wearing camo. and it set me on kind of a little bit of
like a train, like a women's bridal gown, but it had a train.
It was a
camo train.
The dress was camouflage. And he was wearing I think a regular suit, but his tie was camouflage. And it felt like it had definitely Make America Great Again vibes, if I'm being honest.
Were the wedding party wearing bright orange?
I actually don't remember what the
deer
wedding party were wearing because I was just so taken aback by the obscenity of the dress itself. And it got me thinking. Mm-hmm. I have seen this not super often, but often enough. I think that people are getting a little bit too obsessed with individuality at their weddings.
It is an obsession. Like, I don't want it to be like any other wedding.
Oh, and I just like weddings are supposed to just be classic. And I understand wanting to do your own thing with some like wedding isms that feel a little like, for instance, I don't love the idea of a dad walking his daughter down the aisle and giving him away to another man. That feels very transaction-y to me.
It's weird.
It feels like the sale of cattle, if I'm being honest.
It's weird.
So like there's that kind of stuff where when people try to omit those kind of things, I totally get it. I would have my mom walk me down the aisle in a heartbeat. So I get that. But when people try to be like, oh, this is who I am and this is my hobby. I remember I went to a wedding one time and the groomsmen walked down the aisle to the theme of like Star Wars or Star Trek or something.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate, honestly. So I've just been thinking a lot about how people just need to like chill out a little bit about trying to express themselves. I get it. I have a stupid little podcast. Like I love to express myself too, but I don't think that we need to I almost said make your wedding about you. It is about you, but like, why do you have to like make a statement with those kinds of things? It's just so obnoxious to me. I don't like it, but I am done talking about it. So Ashley, what is on your heart?
Well, I have good news and I have bad news.
Okay.
The good news is I am a full-time podcaster right now.
Congratulations.
The bad news is I lost my job.
Congratulations.
So my position was officially eliminated at my job I've been at for 4 years. And I'm unemployed. And honestly, it's been great.
I have to say, from the moment you told me about the circumstances of your vocation, I immediately was like, oh my God, like we're going to fix this. But you have been handling it with such grace. I'm literally so impressed.
I think I was just so ready to have us change. And it needed to be forced on me.
Sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah. So I don't know what's next. And I'm, returning some stuff I bought that I went too heavy on Black Friday.
Okay, that's fair.
And regretting some of the things I bought on my vacation. Other than that, my severance and unemployment will keep me afloat for a while.
Okay.
And trying to figure out what's next. Yeah. I'm working on like a website and marketing stuff about me so that I can kind of hand that off to people and say like, hire me for any little project, stuff like that.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. Their loss. And also, if anybody is looking to contract someone in creative, how would you describe your
I would say that I'm your all-in-one creative dream.
So if you're looking for an all-in-one creative dream, hire our girl Ashley. But in all seriousness, if you like our social media content, Ashley creates all of them. If you like our website, Ashley created that. I'm the writer. Ashley's the designer. I've gotten so much positive feedback about how you've directed the creative element of our podcast. Like you're very gifted. You're going to land on your feet. Thanks. And our parishioners are going to help you.
Yeah.
So
I am not worried yet, which is strange. I've never been unemployed. So I don't know.
It kind of looks good on you.
Something will happen, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get that goofy little boyfriend of yours to take care of you.
So anyway, that's a big change. And because of that, we have kind of a wild episode today because I basically just worked on the podcast all day on Monday. So
I cannot wait.
Yeah. So get ready.
Yes. Before we get into it, though, should we do trust and obey?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Would you like to go first?
Yes, I would recommend one time seeing the movie Hamnet.
I'm seeing it this weekend.
Oh, good.
Right after ketamine, actually.
You will like it. Okay. That is a bold choice.
Well, I really wanted to integrate the therapy really efficiently. So.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen Hamnet.
Are you going to see it?
I will see it at some point. I have not gotten around to
Well, it was already in the very tiny theater. Very hot, small theater upstairs.
It is being it is so raved about, though. I bet it'll do a larger tour. I think
Hopefully.
I think we thought it was going to be an indie movie, and I've only heard amazing things about it.
Well, I just like to tell you that every theater is full of Avatar right now. So get ready to try to find any other movie but fucking Avatar.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see it. Paul Mescal is quite dreamy.
I would say I hate period pieces. I hate when people are like living in dirt and dragging pails around. I can't stand that, watching that stuff.
I specifically like that.
I hate it so much.
I specifically request pail dragging in my movies.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I do,
oh,
yes.
the chores of the world. Like, I want to have an escape. I don't want to be like burdened by how sad this is.
Yeah.
So I really dreaded going to see it but I didn't want to see it, but everyone was like, it's the best movie ever. You have to see it. And it was really good. The acting was amazing. I also really hate birth scenes. And there were too many times.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's about William Shakespeare writing Hamlet. Which the ending's great. It's a great movie. I'm glad I saw it one time. I don't ever want to go through it again because I was bawling my eyes out. So
I love to cry. You know this about me. I'm so excited to watch it.
Get ready. I already knew I'd cry. I didn't know why, but it's good.
Yeah.
The acting, phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd recommend that.
I do love a good period piece. I have noticed that every period piece is about white people or like European history. And I'd like to see more examples, like more stories across the world. So there's a part of me that's like, oh wow, like another French Renaissance movie. Yay. Or like another like colonial England. Like here we go. But like occasionally there's one that's just like, oh man, like Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. That was different.
Never seen it.
Oh, well, you should watch that. That's a good one. Atonement too, which is by the same director, or he did the score.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacob.
Joe Wright.
Do you like them?
Pride and Prejudice. I was in a very similar boat. I had not seen it until last year.
Yeah.
Watched it, and it's fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
My mom and I were talking about Pride and Prejudice recently, and we both agreed that it took us a couple times to realize what was happening.
Okay.
Because-
so I understood it the first time.
Oh, well, congratulations. We were... That's so great, Jacob. we were just like, these bitches are clever.
Oh my
but
God.
I don't know if they're speaking to
I
us.
haven't seen it yet. No spoilers.
This isn't even remotely. Her and I
I'm
love
just kidding,
it.
I'm just kidding.
My mom and I will like be like, we should just like, because my mom and I don't have a lot of movies that we can like overlap and watch together because she's a little bit more pious about what movies she likes to watch. But there are two specifically that we watch over and over again. Nope. It's Freaky Friday, which we actually watched this weekend.
Wait, did you watch the sequel? It's really cute.
I haven't yet, but my mom and I love Freaky Friday.
You should watch the sequel too. It's really cute.
Okay. Yeah. We love Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And then we love The Devil Wears Prada too. That's another one that we love.
And then soon Freaky Friday too.
Would my mom like that?
Freaky. Yeah. I went to it with my mom.
Okay.
It's really cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll holler at her.
Very
for
clean.
That. Yeah. Okay.
Clean for mom.
She likes clean stuff. But she likes to. I did notice she was laughing at some of the innuendos a little bit more recently, like when Jamie Lee Curtis walks away and her pants fall down, and you can see her like thong. My mom thought that was so funny. Like it was very classic physical humor, but she was just like, "Oh my god, ha ha!" It's so funny. I was happy to make her see her so happy, but I was just like, "Okay, mom wants more thong humor." I feel like comedy really thought thongs were funny in the early 2000s. Like that was a big joke. Like, oh my God, someone's wearing a thong.
Especially like a man in the thong, like the hot chick.
Yes, or like Elf when he has the little thong thing that he gets his dad for because it said like for a special someone. Do you remember that? Yeah, thongs were the rage for comedy in like 2007.
That's true.
Borat, more thongs. Yeah. I think there's something to be said about movies that took place in the cultural shadow of 9/11. I feel like that in itself is its own genre.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
No, but for real, there's
you're not wrong. It's just
so much good shit happened right after 9/11 because, like, think about it.
What do we get here from Hamnet?
What has made... What's made you funny? It's the sad shit. I think we were all grieving as an American population. I'm like, and then we said, let's make some of the best movies that have ever happened.
Can I just tell you something really demeaning that's happened to me recently about 9/11?
Imagine if I said no just now. Continue.
I went to Bailee's house this weekend to meet her nephew and her sister, and she had some of her like other friends over. And they were all talking about their 9/11 stories. And some were like, I was 3, I was 5. And I was like, fuck off, all of you. I was literally a senior in high school. Don't even start, Jacob.
Jacob, were you even aware? Were you even like sentient at that time?
I was barely a thought.
I was barely a thought. You were a twinkle in your parents' eye.
Yeah, actually, no. There is an argument that I was conceived on 9/11.
Ew.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because 9 months after is pretty much my birthday.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So you were
Kinky.
like a you up text at that point.
I don't like you guys talking about my parents.
Why not? Why not?
You started it. Where do you think it was going to go?
True.
Okay, Bailee, I almost skipped over you. So sorry.
That's okay.
Do you have anything to trust and obey?
I do. Really simple. The 3M plastic wrap that you put on your windows to keep the draft out. That's pretty much it. I have a really old apartment. It's pretty decrepit. The draft it's like being outside. And we just had a really cold weekend where it was like -14.
Very cold.
Yep. So it was like pretty bad, but I put up some plastic wrap with my sister. And I have to say, it really helped me. So yeah, the 3M plastic wrap, I would recommend if you have a cold apartment. And I think you can get it at Home Depot or Menards or Target. End scene.
I have a cold. I'm really going to try to get through this. I also have a cough drop in my mouth. I'm so sorry.
Apology accepted.
Okay, so tonight's topic, this week's topic is what the hell? It's all about hell.
Yes.
And we were just going to do one episode on hell. But then, you know me, I got into researching.
You did.
And I was like, where'd this idea come from? Who are we? What do we think? And why do we think that? So I'm going to today go through the kind of the shift in theology of hell and the history of that, what brought us to where we are today. And then next week, we're going to talk about, like the trauma of hell and how it horrified us and made us have night terrors and be Christians.
Yes. So this is actually kind of funny because Ashley and I, when we were figuring out what we wanted to do for our future episodes, all of a sudden realized that we hadn't done an episode about hell yet, which is really surprising because hell is the gateway drug to deconstruction, I would say. It's the first thing.
Lack of hell.
Yeah. It's the first thing that you're like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And we're like, how have we not talked about it yet? And we were both like, I think it's just because we're so far beyond believing in hell because it's so goofy that it wasn't even on the forefront of our mind anymore. It's not really something we unpack anymore because it's so in our minds ridiculous. That being said, if you still believe in hell, there's space for you here. And we would like to help you not believe in hell anymore because life is so good outside of hell if you can believe it, unless you're living hell on earth. That's a big bummer. But anyway, Ashley's going to get into a little bit of the background of hell.
Big bummer.
Wah, wah.
I would say that all of those opinions have been the most popular opinion at a time in the world.
What?
Yes.
What?
At some point in the history of theology, all of those opinions have been the most popular opinion. There is no hell. There is a hell. Hell is only on earth.
Oh.
There we go.
Because it's I got you, girl. It's just gone through the ringer of different, like, how people approach it. Because when you actually read the text or you hear about the perspective of it, it's a lot more cryptic than I think a lot of evangelicals realize.
You're telling me?
Yeah, they had like a destination. Like, this is how you get to hell. This is
The
how
Romans
you don't
road.
go to hell. This is what it's going to be like if you go there. Blah, blah, blah. But when you actually like look back at it, it is alarmingly metaphorical. But we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And Ashley's going to lead the timeline on that.
I'm going to try.
You can do your best.
We're going to do a quick historical, theological timeline of hell in Christianity. Okay? So let me bring you back to the ancient Hebrew Bible. You got to close it. I need your opinions. I need your wittiness. Okay. We're going to bring you back to the ancient Hebrew Bible times, 1200 before Common Era to 200 before Common Era.
Totally.
Think
I know exactly
like
what was happening.
You're living in a mud hut.
Yep.
You know, nothing else is really going on but the mud hut and like the linen cloth.
Probably some
that you
kind of
get to wear.
plague, I would imagine, is taking over the world
Totally.
at this time.
What do you think the people thought about hell then?
Well, I think that if I had to guess, they were living it. So I think that they probably thought, like, well, how could this get worse?
Yeah.
And so maybe hell wasn't as literal for them if I had to guess.
Maybe.
But that sounds like maybe
Oh,
they
no,
did think
I'm
it was
sorry.
literal.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
okay. I would think that they had, maybe hell was more of an allegory for suffering, because suffering was such a prevalent aspect of life at that time, if I had to guess.
Yeah. So their core concept was Sheol, which is like a shadowy natural realm of the dead. It's just the idea that everyone goes there. There's no punishment, no reward, no fire, no torment. It's just silence or sleep.
Yeah. And I feel, and David talked about that.
Yeah.
Right?
So I do have key texts of where these ideas came from in the Bible for each era, but most of it's just too many things to list off. So we'll have them in our timeline or like in our Instagram posts. I have a timeline and we'll have the graphics, the text in there. So I'm not going to go through those unless they're like specifically important. So at that time, I think that's kind of what a lot of atheists believe now. Like you just don't exist anymore.
Yes.
You're just asleep or whatever. And the idea was like justice happens in this life and not the afterlife.
Yes.
So in the modern sense, there was no hell in like the modern sense of hell in this early Israelite religion. Then we go on to 200 BCE to 100 CE. And this is the core shift. And this period is crucial. So this is when like Jewish people were exiled, persecuted, martyred, and they kind of thought like, if the righteous suffer and die unjustly like we are, like where's the justice? There has to be something else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when the idea of an evil hell began.
Yeah.
Because so much was happening to them that was bad.
Yeah.
They were like,
which makes sense if you don't see earthly justice manifest. You're like, certainly God will intervene in this life or the next. So it makes sense that divine punishment and wrath would be birthed out of a time like that.
yeah.
And I have like empathy for that too.
Yeah. So there were a couple of key concepts going around at that time. You know, most people still weren't super literate. So it was just kind of like word of mouth, unless you were extremely educated or really rich. So the idea of Sheol kind of becomes divided into one place is for the righteous and then one is for the wicked. And then a new idea of Gehenna emerges as an image of judgment. So that is a literal physical place in outside Jerusalem. It's the Valley of Hinnom. It's a real valley south of Jerusalem. And it was a site of pagan worship and later became Jerusalem's rubbish dump.
Okay.
So where like fire was constantly burned to consume all of the garbage and like the dead bodies. So it was kind of creating this image of perpetual fire and decay.
Yeah.
So
or
that's
like
where
the waste after life.
Yes.
Yeah, the discard
like
of life.
the grossest place you can think of, that's what they kind of named it. And that was somewhere they knew of.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So I have heard that. I've also heard that Golgotha, where Jesus was crucified, was in a similar place. Am I getting those confused with each other, or is there a context that links the two of them?
Really good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
That didn't come up in any of my research.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Because I remember hearing that Golgotha, where Jesus was crucified, I think it was translated as like the place of the skull.
Yeah, in my mind, it's like a hill of skulls.
It's a hill because it says the place of the skull, but I think that that's where a lot of public executions took place.
Oh, maybe.
So I don't know if it's a translation similarity
Yeah.
or if I'm just like they're both G words, but I was just curious if it was
Maybe
the same.
they're right next to each other.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Not me. I'm sure someone
Yeah.
knows.
As someone who's been to Jerusalem, it's not obvious.
No.
Yeah. There's a lot of churches and just buildings built around it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like the golden temples don't make it obvious of the place Jesus was crucified?
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything like
Don't
that.
get me started on Israel. Okay.
Wait.
We know that's a hot topic for me.
Wait, what's your opinion on Israel? No kidding. We've got a little bit of to the
positive.
river, to the river, to the sea, from the river to the sea,
From the window to the wall.
from the window to the wall mentality on the situation.
Okay, so one key text where this ideology is brought up is the Dead Sea Scrolls. Scandalous.
Oh
and I
my
was like, I remember those being really important at some point, but I don't remember why.
I saw them when they were on tour around the world.
But do you remember why they were a big deal?
Because they were discovered by a shepherd in the 20th century, and they contain some of like old text from the Bible, or I don't know if it was the Torah or the Bible or whatever. Or I think some of the Gospels were in it. So it is currently the earliest recorded set of scripture that we have, if I remember correctly, and it's been preserved so well because the salt around the Dead Sea is very good for like preservation of like artifacts. So it's just like a really impressive conservation of documents that just isn't common for historical documents.
Yes. So when I had to research what is the Dead Sea Scroll, because I don't remember, yes, they were found close to the Dead Sea, very good, in the 40s. And they consist of like 1,000 texts written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and portions of every book of the Hebrew Bible except Esther are in there, and some other commentaries and things that make you understand that Judaism in the time of Jesus was more diverse than what we understood in the 40s or 50s. And they were especially dramatic because they were really restricted for the public to see for a long time. And so it was like there's a lot of misunderstanding about them. So this time period is the first time that judgment after death enters Jewish theology. Big deal. Then we're going to keep moving into the Common Era. We're at, around 100 CE. And the core tension is there's lots of ideas and no single doctrine. And you know how people feel about that. And Jesus kind of uses 3 different images. So Gehenna, like we talked about before, Hades, which we've heard of. That's more like Sheol in the beginning. And then outer darkness or fire.
Yeah.
And
That's for in Mormonism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe that's where the Mormons got it from.
Outer darkness.
Outer darkness.
Yeah.
That's for the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And Jesus never gives a systematic doctrine of hell. He's very prophetic and metaphorical. And he focuses on ethical urgency, not metaphysical mapping or what happens in the afterlife. He's more like, don't be an asshole now.
Right. Well, and he's also Jewish. He's like not Greek. So Greeks, Greek writing was more, this is how things happen. Like Greek, writing has influenced Western culture. So when we read texts from what would become the West, we resonate more with this is the specific timeline.
Interesting.
That's why the Gospel of Luke is more systematic, because he was a Gentile. But Jewish writers used metaphor and imagery a lot more. That's why people don't really take Revelation that seriously, is because it clearly is just a metaphor for Nero or what was happening at the time.
Oh my
but
God.
Jesus, a Jewish person, wouldn't have spoken as literally as someone like Luke or a Greek philosopher would have.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so one of the key texts in this one is the parable of the rich man and Lazarus.
Yep, with the cooling of the tongue.
Because it really portrays what hell looks like. Yeah.
I love that parable, by the way.
Yeah, do you want to sum it up?
I can. So there's a rich man, and he dies. And when he dies, he goes to hell. And through a peering window or glass, he is able to see into like what is called Abraham's bosom, which is the holding place of the righteous before Jesus would return and then bring people to heaven.
Like a
kind of like a
purgatory?
Kind of purgatory.
But positive.
Yes, because it's less limbo and more like we're waiting for Jesus to come back. So anyway, when this rich man goes to hell, he sees someone he recognizes, and it's Lazarus, who is a poor beggar that he saw on earth. So he's surprised to see himself in hell and Lazarus in like
Abraham's bosom.
And so he comes through like the veil that disconnects the two afterlife scenarios, and he asks Lazarus to give him a drop of water to cool his tongue because the heat of hell is so strong. And I don't remember what Lazarus said. He essentially says no, or like he can't, but I can't remember if he says anything else.
I don't remember either. I just remember the drop of water.
Yeah, the drop of water on my tongue, just to like soothe any amount of the suffering he was experiencing in hell. But it was kind of a metaphor of the upside down paradigm, which is that the poor would inherit wealth in the afterlife, and that the rich would suffer torment in the afterlife.
And that's not like Jesus wasn't talking about like if there's heaven and hell, like that kind of thing, but people took it very literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were taught that Abraham's bosom was a place that anybody before Jesus who was considered righteous by God but did not have the opportunity to accept Jesus into their heart. So Abraham, Moses, all the people that lied, all the people who existed before, waited there until Jesus came to hell and then set the captives free. And the captives were people in Abraham's bosom. Oh. And they were pulled out, and they get to go to heaven after Jesus reconciles humanity with God.
Wow.
I don't believe in any of this. But where we get Abraham's bosom is obviously that reference. And then also when Jesus says, I've come to set the captives free, and he like takes the key to hell and does that. Like they have ascribed it to the people who are in Abraham's bosom.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Abraham's bosom, next we have the early church fathers era. So we're into like 100 to 400 CE. And this core debate is what happens to the wicked. We got to know what happens to the wicked.
I'd like to know.
So there's three competing views. One is conditional immortality. The wicked are destroyed, not eternally tortured. The second is universal reconciliation. All souls are restored. And the third is eternal conscious punishment, which is still a minor view early on. I'd say that's what most Christians believe now. And hell is understood as corrective, purifying, or annihilating. So it's pretty severe on one end, and then everyone's just restored later on the other end. So no official doctrine. We're still deciding. Then comes big ol' Augustine of Hippo. You might know him as Saint Augustine in 400 CE. And he is very influential, and he argues for eternal conscious torment. And he's very influenced by Roman legal concepts of justice, and he literalizes the idea of fire and punishment. So if you're like, who is this guy? You might also know him as Saint Augustine. He was a 4th century Christian bishop whose ideas quietly shaped what Western Christianity now treats as traditional. So he was living during the collapse of the Roman Empire, and he argued that humanity is born guilty, very big theme of now. Salvation depends entirely on divine grace, and that punishment of the wicked is eternal and conscious. His authority was so influential that later generations inherited, like us, his conclusions, and basically think that's what the Bible says.
And he's kind of the first marker of when Christianity historically intersects with the imperial empire of where he is. So before Augustine is doing his thing, Christians are like an oppressed people group who are like nomadic and held down. But once Christianity infiltrates Rome and Augustine gets his filthy hands on it, then that's when I think Christianity becomes a more dangerous like power struggle, because it's backed by the Roman Empire.
Definitely. He's kind of responding to political crises and like finding a way to fix it with religion, which is inherently dangerous.
What? Is that not the thesis of this podcast?
And he's giving Christianity this framework during a very unstable time. So it's kind of like, believe in this. It's very clear. It's very structured. And nothing else is working, but like this works. And this, you do something good, you go to heaven. You do something bad, you are tormented in eternal fire. So it kind of scares people into doing the right thing.
It's a great way to get control over a group of people.
Yes. So I've heard about him for a long time. I lived in Florida. St. Augustine is a big, cool place to go in Florida. It's not a big place, but it's a cool place. And I never knew that he was such a demonic figure.
He was goofy, to say the least.
So he didn't invent the idea of hell, but he definitely like standardized the version of it that we know today.
He used it as a controlling force.
Yes. He became very much so a theological authority, and that becomes the Western view, basically. Then we get into medieval times, I feel like, which is a favorite time of yours.
Oh, I don't really care for the medieval era that much.
I don't know why I thought that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like I see you liking knights.
No, I hate them. I still have a bone to pick with my English teacher who made me read all the King Arthur literature. I'm just like, this stuff sucks. I just didn't care for King Arthur.
Was he a real person?
No.
Okay.
Like the Knights Templar, I think, were. So that it was the lore written around the Crusades.
Oh, I absolutely hate medieval times,
Yeah.
as you could know by my
They feel
Hamnet.
so dirty to me.
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah.
So many buckets.
Yeah. I mean, I love like a story. Like so much happened during
Everyone
that
has
time.
a bucket.
Yeah.
They're dragging it along.
You and your medieval
oh
buckets.
my God.
What is in that bucket?
It's just like water.
Oh.
Constantly dragging
Contaminated
water.
water.
Dragging contaminated water around town. It's just so treacherous.
I just cannot believe how gross medieval Europeans were, and how like every other culture had a handle on hygiene and just a way to manage plagues. And like Europe was just like, no, we don't believe in germs.
There's this podcast called This Podcast Will Kill You. And it is two infectious disease
epidemiologists.
doctors.
Yeah.
Epidemiologists who talk about a different disease every week. And then they're on the same network, or they're on the network that My Favorite Murder is on, which is their own network.
I love their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they do an episode on like germ theory. It's very interesting.
I would love to hear about that.
See like how hard it was to get people to believe it.
Yeah.
No one would believe it.
Yeah. But like
Anyway.
like Egyptians believed it. And like there were other cultures that like did practice hygiene in an effective way. But Europeans were just disgusting.
Not much has changed.
For real. If you're European, honestly, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to do it.
I know that Americans go too far. Like we go too far the other way. But sometimes it's like, hello, this is so gross.
This is grimy.
Okay. So we're in medieval Christianity where everything's disgusting and there's just buckets everywhere.
Buckets of filth and plague.
And this is when there are new developments. So purgatory is formalized, the idea of purgatory. Hell becomes highly detailed and graphic. And the moral economy is tied to fear. So the more fear you have, like the more moral you are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, I could totally see that.
Yeah. So this is kind of like pre-Puritan.
Yeah.
Like very end of it's leading into Puritans. And one of the biggest influences is Inferno, which you might have heard by Dante's Inferno.
Yep.
In 1308, he wrote this. So this is when I got so deep because I was like, I don't know anything about this. I've just heard of the word Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know all about it?
I understand that I read a little bit of it, and I understand that it is where we get our classic imagery of hell, like the layers of hell.
So much.
Yeah.
This was written in 1308. So
Yeah.
much of what we believe now comes from that, which is sick.
I know.
And also kind of the deadly sins is in there too. So if you're like me and you've never heard of Dante's Inferno, really, I'm going to actually tell you more about it. And if you know everything about it and you're bored, stop listening. So
You don't know. We actually really need the viewership. Don't do that. I'm sure there's something you could still learn.
you know, I just like to be a surprise.
Yep.
So Inferno is the first part of the Divine Comedy written by Dante Alighieri in 1308. It's an epic poem describing Dante's imagined journey through hell. Yikes. So he wrote it because he was politically exiled from Florence.
Mm-hmm.
He was mad.
Mm-hmm.
And
all
he
the
was
best shit comes out of someone who's just recently been exiled.
You heard it here
Whoa.
first.
Art imitates life.
It's me
bitches.
next. I'm the next Dante's Inferno.
You're gonna make something really meaningful and profound that shapes future zeitgeists and maybe torments the minds of young children.
Aren't you glad you're still listening?
Please don't turn us off.
Okay. So he was politically exiled from Florence. He was writing in a time of church corruption and instability, like we talked about. And he was very concerned with justice and morality and power.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, let me tell you what hell's like.
Yeah.
So he wrote this structured, logical, and moralized version of hell. And it had 9 circles. So the first circle is limbo. So that's... And that sin, so each circle has a name and then a sin and a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in that circle, it's because you did this sin, and then this is what's going to happen to you there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first circle is limbo. The sin is being unbaptized or being a pagan.
Mm-hmm.
So the punishment is eternal longing without torment.
Oh, you know what? I love to long, so that wouldn't be so bad. I love to yearn and long for things. That's just like how life is for me right now. Because I'm an Enneagram 4. All I do is desire.
That is so you.
All I do is just look for things to desire.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
The second circle is lust.
Uh-huh.
So the sin
I have
is
nothing to do with
sexual
that.
passion without restraint.
Uh-huh.
And the punishment is you are blown endlessly by violent winds.
Blown endlessly by violent winds. And that is a punishment for clarity's purpose. It is a
For the
punishment
horniest people in
to
hell.
be blown by violent winds. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what this punishment is before okay. Yeah, it sounds really bad.
Endless violent winds. Have you ever been to Oklahoma? That's what it sounds like.
I used to live there.
When you can't even like walk because it's so strong.
Honestly, North Dakota's worse. When I've walked through like Fargo and the wind is really picking up, I feel like I'm underwater. I can't even breathe. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be
and
like.
it's not even remotely erotic, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay, then the third circle is gluttony. The sin is excessive consumption, and the punishment is mired in cold, filthy rain and mud. I think it's like a pig type of thing.
Yeah. Like you're just like,
He was really inspired by the pigs
Probably.
in his disgusting medieval time.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth circle is greed. The sin is hoarding and wastefulness.
Mm-hmm.
The punishment is pushing heavy weights in opposing arcs.
What?
I think it means uphills.
Okay. Maybe it's about being bound by material goods, so you have to like lug them around and like bear the brunt of their weight. If I had to guess.
The fifth circle is wrath. The sin is rage and sullenness, and the punishment is fighting on the surface or choking beneath the sticks. Which I thought I had notes in here about the sticks. Where did they go? The sticks was some sort of evil lake. Oh, a lake on fire. That's what it is.
Lake of fire.
Yes.
The river Styx.
The river Styx.
Thanks, Jacob.
On fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I put the comment in the Instagram post, and that's why I thought it was in here.
That's all good.
So you'll see it later.
Mm-hmm.
The sixth circle is heresy, and the sin is denial of the soul's immortality. And the punishment is being trapped in burning tombs.
Oof.
That is the sixth circle of hell.
Mm-hmm.
The seventh circle of hell is violence, which is divided into 3 rings. Violence against others, which you will be boiled in blood. Violence against yourself, which you'll be transformed into trees.
Oh.
I think it's kind of sweet.
Oh. That is really tender.
Yeah. And violence against God, nature, and art. The punishment is wandering a burning desert.
Mm-hmm.
And the 8th circle of hell is fraud. And the punishment is varied. There are calculated torments for that one.
Oh, wow. God really hates fraud.
Yep. Intentional deception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the 9th circle of hell, the last one, is treachery, a betrayal of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And the punishment is frozen in ice. And at the center of hell is Satan, immobilized, weeping, chewing on traitors, including Judas. And he's in the ice in the center. So it's a big shift to like go from Satan being burning in hell to being trapped in ice and like sad and immobilized.
I was going to say, like, why is the devil crying?
He doesn't reign over hell. He is a product of it.
So he's suffering in hell himself. Wait, am I experiencing empathy for the devil right now?
Yeah, Satan himself.
Oh my gosh, I hate
He's
being a
chewing
woman.
on traitors.
Oh my gosh, I
Judas.
literally want to cry for the devil right now. I literally cannot be in my own body right now. It hurts so bad. Like, that's so sad.
Oh my God, you're such a 4.
I am.
Okay. So this was a very big deal, obviously, because of how much of that we believe now. It's crazy. Like, it's the 7 deadly sins. I've heard people say, oh yeah, the 7th circle of hell, blah, blah, like offhand. I didn't know it came from this.
Yeah.
From 1308.
I've heard like the levels of hell. And we were told, you know, in the passage that says like, it is better to be thrown into the sea with like a millstone tied around your neck than to deceive young people or the vulnerable ones. Yeah. And so we believe that deception of like so like a pastor or a person in spiritual leadership deceiving people garnered the greatest type of punishment, which was like the hottest layer of hell.
Yeah. Or the coldest.
Apparently the coldest.
Wow.
But you know what's kind of crazy though? When you're really hot or really cold, you almost can't even decipher the temperature.
You're just kind of numb.
Yeah. Have you ever like put gas in your tank when it's -30 and you go to reach for it in the middle, like almost stings you and it feels hot, but it's actually just really cold? Like the temperatures become indecipherable at that point.
Sounds like a circle of hell.
Totally.
Okay, so Dante was massively influential. He visualized hell. He moralized punishment by like this thing equals this punishment. Like that was new. And he kind of outpaced scripture. Like none of these ideas are in scripture. It's very loosely tied. But people kind of believe it is biblical. Yeah. Even though it's not. And so he didn't invent it, but he illustrated it so vividly that his imagination became what's now tradition. Okay, then we get into the 1500s. So we're getting up there. The Reformation era.
Martin Luther.
So this is when doctrine stays, but authority shifts. So Protestants reject purgatory, but they keep eternal hell. And they emphasize biblical authority, but inherent medieval assumptions. And Catholics codify hell at the Council of Trent. Oh, they codify hell and purgatory at the Council of Trent. But really the main ideas around hell don't change. It's just the divide in Protestants and Catholics. And then we get into the 1700s and 1900s. And this is when there's some cracks in the system. There are moral objections to eternal torment.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's some criticism of the Bible. And there's a few psychological and philosophical shifts where some people are interpreting hell as metaphorical, and then annihilationism resurfaces. Yeah. And that is something that has early roots in Christianity, and it resurfaced in modern times due to moral objections, kind of being like eternal torment isn't compatible with a living God. Yeah. A loving God, sorry. And that is the same thing that got me to where I am now.
Yeah. Interesting. That was
like,
the thing.
The thing that people were like wrestling with in the 1700s. I was wrestling in 2020.
We're all connected.
And I was like, this can't be the truth. Like if you have a kid and you love it so much and it betrays you, you still wouldn't want something bad to happen to them. Yeah. You would want them to be relieved of their pain, like, so.
And I think like because I wrestled with that same thing. What I was taught is that God doesn't want anybody to go to hell, but that people choose to go to hell by rejecting them. But what he honors above all else is autonomy and personal choice. Yeah. Which if you're a Calvinist, you probably just had a chill sent down your spine. But the belief was that like you almost put yourself in hell by rejecting God, but he's begging you not to. And I remember as a young person wrestling, well, then why would he create hell at all if he knew it was going to be so easy to slip into? Right. And then they would say, well, he created it for the devil. And I'm like, what does your beef with the devil, dude? Like, can't you guys just kiss and make up? and not bring us into it. But literally, like, we're just collateral damage in his beef with the devil.
Yeah, if he's even there.
They totally just want to kiss, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have annihilationism.
Mm-hmm.
We have universalism. So that's kind of like a more liberal theology, and it just emphasizes God's restorative justice over punishment.
Mm-hmm.
We have three major figures that are the influences for these ideas in the late 1800s. And they're all from Europe. And in the late 1800s, there was a lot going on in Europe. There was a lot of wars, a lot of famine, a lot of territorial reorganization, tons of death, tons of plagues, collapses of monarchies like the French Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, epidemics. You know, like, it was nuts in Europe in the 1800s. So we have Friedrich Schleiermacher, I think.
That sounds right.
He was a German theologian, considered the father of modern liberal theology, and he emphasized the religious experience and God's love over legalistic punishment. We have Karl Barth. He was Swiss, and he was kind of ambiguous on the fate of the damned and of hell, but he emphasized God's sovereignty and grace, and kind of the universal reconciliation was bigger with him. And then obviously we have C.S. Lewis, who advocated the idea of hell as a self-chosen separation from God, like you're kind of saying.
Yep.
Not necessarily like eternal torture, but that you have made the choice to not be with God forever, which is the ultimate prize in life.
And we were told, like, it was torture, but yes, that there was a lot of agency in that choice.
So in that Enlightenment and modern era, the traditional hell system is kind of, again, cracked through as all of these great thinkers were wrestling with God's love. And that brings us into the 1900s to now. And I would say it's completely fragmented. I can also see through this timeline how the Puritans got to where they are, how the Mormons got to where they are. It's really like come together for me in my brain. And the main views today are kind of like the traditional view of eternal torment for the wicked, annihilationism, like nothing matters and everything is
Just
gone.
goes into the void afterwards.
Universal reconciliation, everyone's reconciled, and then like hell is just a metaphor. So that's my little timeline. But I think it was crazy for me to realize how long it took the ideas of hell to form, and that the biggest impacts weren't even from the Bible.
Yeah.
They were from a man in 1308 who was exiled from Florence.
And who was just like writing a diss track, apparently. Yeah. It is wild. And I remember when I started learning more about how all of the dissension really surprised me. All these people, I'm like, there is not a universal belief on what this is. And that gave me the freedom and think to kind of create my own belief of hell, but like evolve out of what I was told was for sure the story of hell.
Agreed. And I think that's all we have for today for our first episode on hell. What the hell? And next week we'll talk more about our personal experiences. I have a million sources, but 4 main ones that we'll put in the show notes. And catch the timeline on Instagram. I put together some graphics for this too. So
amazing. Thank you, Ashley. That was really helpful.
And I will lead us out.
Please do.
All right. Blessed are the listeners, for they shall rest easy tonight without the fear of eternal fire and punishment. Find us on praisebetopod.com on the web and praisebetopod on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. It is finished. Bye.